bend the knee.
Man, I'll Kaepernick.
Yeah. Well, they're just gonna make that a verb now for bending the knee towards
when
power.
we go get our RBG award, we both Kaepernick. We both Kaepernick for our RBG award. And we go, just like she would have wanted. I remember a time where I used to be on an elevator with a woman, and they would have to talk to me. They'd have to talk to me. They couldn't pretend like they couldn't hear me. They couldn't act like they're in their own world with their little pods in.
You'd go,
they'd have to say, I'm here. I'm a man. I have needs. Talk to me. I like have tattoos and I have a big beard and like I don't dress super nice. Like I've always kind of like felt like I've been thrown together. I always just throw my outfit together. But I was telling a friend of mine, I was like, yeah, I don't know why, like, you know, I've always been have like scare the hoe energies. And she was like, because the way you dress and look. And I was like, oh.
It's just your core behavior and look.
Yeah, the homeschool thing and the way that you look and act. Like, just don't do all that. Just be handsome and charming, and you wouldn't have scaring hose energy at all.
Just be a different person.
Yeah. Baby, if I could, I would. My wife was telling me the story of her friend in high school where she was like, yeah, my friend got high and we were in the car and she was rapping along to Childish Gambino. And she said the N-word when she was rapping along, and we were all white girls in the car and we kind of looked at each other. But the way that she told the story, she said, and it was like 2014. So we knew we just found out we couldn't say that anymore. And I was like, wait, in 2014, your friends stopped saying the N-word? When Obama was in office, your friends were like, hey guys, maybe we should fucking slow this shit down, our use of the N-words at Austin High.
You know when we knew not to say it? 1780. That's when we knew that word was harmful.
Yeah, it wasn't invented as a nice word and then turned mean, right? It started as a mean word.
When our government decided they were only worth 3/5 of a person, that's when we realized that we're mean to them and that's a mean word to use.
The first time someone used that word, it was in hate. I mean, like the first time someone used that, they were like, oh, this is going to be big.
It was only used in hate so much so that black people had to take the word back. That's how the word was only ever used in hate, is that they had to take the word back and reclaim it as a term of endearment for each other.
There's this thing in like Philadelphia hardcore and like East Coast hardcore where like white kids really like saying the N-word and they always go, same hoods. Like, we're from the same hoods. Like, in, you know, hey, in Philly, it's different. We're from the same hoods. I'm like, yeah, why don't you go say it to that group of black guys over there? I'm like, yeah, why don't you, instead of being at this hardcore show, walk across the street and say it to a group of black guys and explain it how you're just from the same hood as them.
No, dude, I'm straight edge. Same hood. Yeah.
Same hood,
what an intolerable person. God, yeah, so like, I don't drink, I don't smoke, and I say the N-word. You soberly say a racist slur. Oh, good. Yeah, let's put him in the pit, huh?
No harm, only hate. I was the type of vegan that like non-ironically called people bloodmouths.
Wait, you were the type of what?
Vegan. I was the type of vegan.
Were you vegan?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
For when I met you?
No, so it was on and off. I started being like vegetarian in my teens. Like free, I was actually a freegan when I first started. You know what that is? I would eat out of dumpsters in my teens. I was super into that. And I believe that, like, I swear to God, if everyone only ate out of dumpsters and we all peed in sinks, we'd be able to save I was the nastiest little kid. I was 15 with a full beard, digging in the trash can at Trader Joe's, just bringing bread home to my family, being like, free bread. We don't have to spend money on food. It's wrong. Don't endorse the system.
How did they respond to that?
My parents had probably checked out at that point. At that point, my parents were like, yeah, our son looks homeless. He rides his bicycle around the city, and we don't really know what he does all day. But I was digging in trash.
But the other one's becoming a pastor.
Yeah, the other one's a pastor. We love this one. He's great. You know, they already got when the oldest in your family is perfect, they kind of just let go and let God on the rest. You know, and when they get a good one on the books.
You're in the middle, Jimmy, right?
No, I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest.
Yeah, and I was the perfect one. And then I was like, I'm going to do comedy. And then it just went downhill.
Film school was still perfect?
That's really funny.
I started comedy before film school. Yeah.
So then film school, they were like, who cares?
Yeah, at that point. I didn't even tell them until I was going. I was like, oh yeah, this is what I'm doing.
It's
I love,
me eating out
I
of
love
trash.
the idea of a closeted film student
Yeah.
who, like, his junior year, he comes out to his parents. Hey, actually, so I like Scorsese. They're like, couldn't he just have come out as gay?
Yeah.
We'd love a gay CPA in the household.
I wish my son was dealing with extremism instead of this.
Yeah.
Wish I had a weird incel son instead of this.
I wish I had a kid who fucked a watermelon, gnawed on his shirt, and was getting an engineering degree.
Oh, good. Another dangly earring.
Oh, welcome to Bad News, everybody.
Welcome to Bad News.
I'm Sam Castillo.
I'm JT Kelly.
And with us always is
Jimmy Clifford.
Jimmy Clifford. Yeah, this is the if you guys know what the show is by now. You know, It's bad news. It's good news, but it's bad. It's hopefully funny.
You've never been vegan or vegetarian?
I have never really taken to vegetables.
Really?
No,
you ever watched an animal slaughter video? I remember I watched those and I was like, okay, now I'm like, fuck it, I don't care anymore. But
Yeah, but then you just get like fish for the day and you forget.
yeah.
Yeah. You oh my God, you watch what they do to chickens and the eggs, and then you just go get some fish and you forget.
I remember I was working at Juiceland and I was vegan and I mentioned it in the interview and the manager said, oh, wow, brought up that you were vegan pretty quickly. But I was like, oh, I thought this was like a super vegan friendly place. He's like, sure, it is. And then when I worked there, it was all vegans, and then I broke edge. I stopped being vegan. I started eating meat, and all of the vegans I worked with were like, oh, this sucks. And it's crazy because I'd spent so much time. Well, because we're
you
really
had been rubbing
pretentious.
it in their face.
Yeah, I had spent so much time being like, I'm morally superior to you. I don't know harm. I don't eat animals. Eating animals is wrong. It's evil.
You were morally superior while working at Juiceland.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was on my high horse.
I mean, that's a job you get when you're on Suboxone and you're in and out of the methadone clinic.
Yeah, I worked at Juiceland around the same time I was using like crack cocaine.
That's a job for kids who are in and out of rehab.
Yeah, it is.
That's literally what Juiceland is. Oh, put the fruit in the blender for this week, and then we'll send you back to this 12 steps clinic next week.
Yeah.
That it's a revolving door.
When I stopped drinking, I had a coworker of mine ask me where I sought treatment. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, where did you seek treatment to quit drinking? And I was like, oh, I'm like working class. Like, I was like, oh, I don't have like, it's not like vacation time. You know, otherwise I'd get sober every 6 months. I would get sober every single quarter and hang out with like Shia LaBeouf on a Malibu beach or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Getting sober.
Yeah.
That's the way to get sober.
God.
Just do it.
You went to college? You were never like a bleeding heart activist in college? You never went through that phase? Where you were like, I got to change the world. You've always just been like, fuck the world, let it burn, baby.
Man, I can't. I don't think I thought I emphasized this to you in college, my college years. I just wanted to die and take drugs.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I was just, frankly, I was just having fun, and then I would just be like, hey, you know what would be great? Xanax, and just you take the Xanax. You go to class, you argue on the Xanax, you go out with the girl, she comes, you don't, she feels ugly, you just go, no, yeah. And then you drive home and you just go to work. I had a job. I was just you were fucked up.
Driving on Xanax.
I knew it wasn't going to get any better at 21. I knew it wasn't. I knew that there was no way to compel the world to be better. And so I had to look inward.
Look at what?
I had to look inward.
Oh.
Whoa.
You need to look at what?
Hey, I'm from Dallas, but not like that.
Man.
But we were talking about a second ago.
Oh, I don't know. I went through like a vegan phase for a long time.
Yeah, veganism.
But yeah, I was vegetarian, I was vegan, and then, after a while, you just start eating meat because it tastes good and it's easy and it's fun.
It tastes amazing.
Yeah, it's so good. I love it. I smoke meats in my backyard now. You know,
you're a meat guy.
I like doing it. I got a bow. I got a bow. It's actually a crossbow.
What?
And I want to go hunt an animal with it.
With a crossbow?
Yeah, like legally. Like I'm above board here. I'm not saying like recreationally on my own, just kind of vibe with night vision or something. I want to go hunt an animal like a deer or a turkey. Seems like turkeys are easier, but it feels weird kind of hunting an animal like a turkey. I feel like I can kill one of those with my bare hands.
Yeah, I don't know. I just imagine if we had met in high school, how much we would have hated each other.
No.
Yeah.
No,
You're an in-your-face freak.
Not in high school.
You just told me in high school you were dumpster diving.
I was like 15, 16.
You told me
I was graduated high school by 15. You know what I mean?
Did you really?
Yeah, but before I graduated, I was like super, libertarian, right?
Okay, man. Okay, look, you know that 15, 16 is high school years,
high school age, but I had a full beard and I looked like a homeless guy,
That's why I would have hated you, because I couldn't. Now I have to shave twice a day. But
I would have bought you beer at a gas station.
But I didn't grow facial hair until I was like 19. So I was envious of how you could grow facial hair at 15. And like you were just
At 15, all my friends were like 18 and 19-year-olds that wanted me to buy them beer.
Sure.
And I did. And that's like, I was like, man, I have so many friends that want to spend nighttime with me all the time. I was like, these guys want to hang out with me like every weekend. It rules,
Yeah.
It's because you had a beard, you could buy beer.
And so
I could just go buy beer.
19-year-old boys were grooming him. They were texting a 15-year-old being like, hey, when do we get some drinks?
The other thing is about being a man. I was telling Sam about this. I used to volunteer at like a daycare program for developmentally disabled adults. And it was mostly like high school and college age guys that would volunteer there. And I volunteered there for like a year or so. And then I, started working a new job at Starbucks or something. So I stopped volunteering. And then I was at In-N-Out with my family. And that program, they were called Laurel Ruff, visited In-N-Out.
Wait. They were called Laurel Ruff?
Called Laurel Ruff. Yeah, Laurel Ruff after school program.
And explain exactly what kind of camp program Laurel Ruff was.
It was like an after school program. Like the disabled kids, developmentally disabled kids would go there and then you'd help them with their homework.
Did you say it was developmentally disabled?
Yeah.
Oh, I just didn't hear you say that.
It was all developmentally disabled, like adults that were in like adult programs or school or foster care or like semi-adult daycare essentially is what it is, right?
Cool.
And so like I was doing that for a long time. They gave me a gift card to Jamba Juice one time because how much I volunteered. But like a year or so passes and they're in In-N-Out as like a field trip thing and I'm with my family.
Wait. What a shitty field trip.
That's a great field. A hamburger? That's a fantastic field trip.
What, last year they went to the Grand Canyon? this year we're getting animal style? What the fuck is this?
Yeah, we're not going to take them to Disneyland or anything. It's an after school program,
They're kind of like fish. They can't tell the difference between a picture and the real thing. So we're just going to show them a movie, a slide. We gave them one of these things, the little diorama things, and a kaleidoscope or whatever those are called of the Grand Canyon, and then we just took them In-N-Out.
You give a developmentally disabled adult a hamburger and ask them how their day was. They're going to be like, it was a pretty good day, dude. I had a hamburger today. So In-N-Out's a fantastic field trip.
I saw boobs and I got a burger. Honestly, pretty good day.
10 out of 10, dude. Someone else is going to pay my rent now. Night. Rules, right?
I like the idea that he's aware that he just
just a guy that's pretending to be disabled but not even fronted, just being like, yep, fully disabled up here, dude. You gotta wipe my butt for me, in fact.
That's correct. I'm 28 and I have my parents co-sign my lease.
Yeah. No, mentally I'm like a 5-year-old. They tell me. Yeah, 100%, dude. Really? Tried to put square box through circle holes all the time. It's crazy, man. Can't even flush the toilet right. I just spit in the mirror over and over again.
Can chomp down on some puss, but like other than that, like,
he keeps walking in with his shirt on backwards and like, I don't know, man. Don't know how to do it. Smoking weed.
Yeah.
But they're at In-N-Out and I'm with my family and I see one of the volunteers. I never met the guy and I go, oh, hey. And he like says, hey. And he goes, how's it going? I was like, good. I used to help out with Laurel Ruff. And I was like, gross, bearded, 15-year-old kid. I looked like a homeless guy. I had patches on me.
Neck hairs at 15.
Neck hairs. And he goes, oh, yeah, buddy? We'd love to have you back sometime. And I was like, yeah. And he walks away and my family is like dying laughing. And I was like, oh, shit. Am I retarded? And they were like, no. And I was like, do you guys promise? And they were dying so hard because I was like, a part of me was like, oh, my God. I volunteered there for almost 2 years. They gave me one Jamba Juice gift card. That doesn't make sense. I was like, was I there as a student? You guys have just been lying to me? And it was in my head for a while that I was actually, one of the disabled campers there.
It was like Shelter Island for you.
Yeah, 100%.
Am I a patient or a detective? JJ. You're looking down, you go, why do I have a gun? I love the idea of every day you're seeing Memento, you're like taking photographs, you're tattooing onto your arm, get out of here. Every day you're like, don't take her pills, don't believe her lies.
IQ 80. What is this?
What the fuck? You tattoo on your quad, don't take the fruit roll up, get out. No more In-N-Out.
Never no more In-N-Out. Do you guys like In-N-Out?
I mean, it's dog shit French fries, good burger.
You don't like I like French. I like everything there.
I enjoy it. I mean, it's no Shake Shack, but it's pretty good.
I mean, well, Shake Shack's the creme de la creme.
What do you guys think is the best fast food in Austin? I'll say P. Terry's.
My wife loves P. Terry's.
Smart
Here's
wife.
the thing. I don't think you can beat McDonald's.
McDonald's so good. McDonald's so good.
It's so good, dude.
So good.
It's like it's number one for a reason. You don't come for the king.
Yeah. You seen that Big Mac they put on display and about how like it just doesn't mold or whatever?
That's because it's pristine.
Yeah, that's exactly my opinion.
That's a testament to how good it is.
When they tell me it's filled with preservatives, I go, that's exactly what I want in my body. Preservative sounds like exactly what I need in me right now.
I want to preserve me.
Yeah.
So therefore, I should be eating preservatives.
What someone once told me that drinking alcohol doesn't kill bacteria in your stomach, and I said that's stupid.
That's stupid.
There's no way that drinking alcohol doesn't kill the bacteria.
Why do I rub alcohol on stuff all the time?
Word for word, exactly what I said. I said if I have a cut on my arm, I can get rid of it with alcohol.
We're trying to clean the pipes.
Yeah. I'm glad that you also kind of don't believe in science.
Yeah, fuck no.
Yeah, I had someone try to explain science to me in fucking community college, and I said, shut it down. I don't need to know this. I'm doing English instead.
Let me tell you.
This reminds me a lot of when Trump said we should drink bleach to fix COVID.
Yes.
He's like,
did he?
Yeah, he's like, listen, it kills all the bacteria.
You can't, that's not wrong.
Clorox is like, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's in the pocket of big Clorox. His biggest sponsor was Clorox at the time. Comet, that powder you put in the sinks to make it shine.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. The best fast food of a national chain, I just Chick-fil-A count.
Oh yeah, Chick-fil-A is so good.
Because I mean, I love a Chick-fil-A.
Mm-hmm.
It's a small menu. They knock it out of the park. It's a small menu of selection of items. Big selection of sauce, which the only thing I don't like about McDonald's is there's not a lot of sauces.
Yeah.
When I get, because I want a burger, give me a Big Mac, and then I usually get like a 6-piece nugget for the table, and then
for the table, nuggies for the table. He's like, please come up to the counter, please come up to the cash register and tell me that, sir.
This is the order of operations of eating McDonald's. French fries for the car ride home, nuggies for the table, Big Mac for me.
It's just you at the table.
Where's the maitre d'?
And look, I'm eating alone shirtless. It's me and my friend Tucker. I'm on X. I'm watching Tucker Carlson. I'm eating McDonald's shirtless. It's a nice time.
McDonald's used to be a place you could eat shirtless.
Yeah.
They've taken that from us. Oh, where are the last places that men can sleep in public? Movie theaters. Every other place, if you try to sleep in public, and women have never been able to sleep in public. It's never been safe for them.
No.
But men, we used to be able to sleep everywhere. Anywhere I wanted to rest my head, that was my God-given right. And now there's one place, and it's only while the movie's going. And you know what? That's why I go to movie theaters. Because I think it's my right to rest my head wherever I damn well choose. I love taking little naps. Now, if you want to take a little nap on a bus stop, they wake you up. They also put those barriers on there because too many stinky people try to take naps.
That's correct. That's why I got the Alamo Victory Pass. It's unlimited movies for $1 a pop. So I buy Dune 3. I buy Dune, which is 3.5 hours. I buy that 4 times. I sleep for 7 hours. I go to the Planet Fitness. I shower for another 7 hours.
Yep.
And I just rinse, recycle, repeat.
Nice.
And
then those bacteria bacon at the sauna at the 24-hour.
Yeah. Man, that's got to be a good TikTok. Was like someone was like, what the fuck? And they moved their camera and someone had plugged into an outlet of the bathroom. Someone had a slow cooker or a crock pot. And they were cooking in the bathroom of Planet Fitness. Dude, tough look. Because in other gyms, they're shooting up steroids. The anabolic steroids are going into your arm. At Planet Fitness, the anabolic steroids are in the chicken. That's where...
When I worked...
Which is why people say you shouldn't have like meats that have the steroids. I want to get strong too.
I would eat the chicken steroids. Why not?
Why not?
I'll eat a gay chicken, a Christian chicken, a roided chicken.
I want a Christian lean chicken with a lot of anabolic steroids in it. I'm trying to get faithful and lean.
Yeah. Faithful and lean. That's how they make them.
I'm trying to be a supple disciple of Christ.
I'm a tight little thing for the Lord. When I worked at Juiceland, I worked at the Frost Tower, like the skyscraper downtown. Like
I love parking by there.
The fancy office building. Except if you work there, I found out in my manager's email, and I sent an email from his email to the property manager asking for passes to the gym for the C-suite of Juiceland. And they gave passes to the gym at everyone at the Juiceland I worked at while I worked there. I was fucking pretty much the Jimmy Hoffa at that place. That gym was so nice and had a sauna in it. It was when I started lifting. Remember when you started lifting weights around the same time I did?
Yeah.
After I lost the job at Juiceland, I haven't lifted weights since because I had such a nice gym. It was the only time I did it. But we also had a sauna there, right? So I was kicking into the sauna, and this fancy dude and I were kind of like joking back. And he goes, "Hey man, where do you work here?" And I go, "Oh, I work for Juiceland." And he goes, "What do you do for Juiceland?" And I go, "Oh, I make smoothies at Juiceland." And he goes, "Oh." And puts his headphones back in because he realizes I'm not a businessman. And I was like, "Dude, we're in the sauna. We're equals right now. Like you and I, we're just two sweaty peers. I don't know why I'm less than you now." But yeah, working there and getting that free gym ruled. People thought I was rich sometimes.
He wanted to fuck you, but then you talked yourself out of the ass. That's what it was. All those dudes fuck each other in them saunas, and he was like, "Ugh, peasant cock."
If I could have found myself
Yeah.
a rich little thing to settle down with that gym, I wouldn't be here right now.
Are you kidding me?
I wouldn't be here right now.
Are you kidding me?
I'd be in the fucking Bahamas.
No, you wouldn't be. You know where you'd be? You'd be in and out of his house in bee caves and back into a rehab facility. He feeds his little twink some meth. He puts it back in the rehab. He feeds it. That would be your cycle of emotional, physical, and chemical abuse.
I think I could do it.
I want that for you.
Yeah, that sounds nice. I want to retire. However I have to get there. You know, it's not like I can work in a factory for 20 years anymore.
No, they've taken that from us.
Yeah, they've taken. Now all they've given us is old dude cock. That's my only option. I'm sure there are other options. Not for me, buddy. It's only old dude cock for my retirement, buddy.
There's a military recruiter being like, "Hello." There's also the local union being like, "No, you could be an iron worker and provide for a family." And you're like, I think I'm gonna just be a club drug whore. So
I don't really do jobs where I pack my lunch in. The lunch gets gross by like halfway through the day. I'm not like a pack my lunch type of worker.
I want to eat sweet green, and
we would need the environment for me to get lunch every day. If this is like a union job, I would need to like go get lunch.
You know why you would? I don't think you would really last in a good marriage with an abusive man.
Why?
Because you'd have to eat fly right chicken because it's not the homophobic chicken. Have you had the non-homophobic chicken?
It doesn't taste as good as hate.
You need the hate chicken, bro.
It is. Oh man, when I was a telemarketer, I would sell really expensive
and I'm an
websites.
ally. I'm an ally, except when I'm dipping them fingers, bro.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say I'm an ally to Chick-fil-A. Like you're like, can I stand against that gay shit? That chicken won me over. I mean, you're homosexual. Me and my chicken boys are coming for you.
Yeah, I have so many friends that are not straight, but when I'm eating chicken, bro,
enemies,
bro. I mean, I'm Switzerland. I'm Switzerland. I'm going all that shit over there. That's cool. I'm doing me.
That sounds like it's good for you, man.
Hey, that's good for you. But I got mine. Okay.
Chick-fil-A used to do a thing where you could dress as a cow and get a free meal for a day. Remember that? Yeah, that was humbling.
But
just being a fat kid.
But they were out of your mom costumes.
My mom is the type of woman that would dress all of us up as cows and have us go to both the Chick-fil-A's in Sacramento in the same day.
Tough.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, dude, being like a fat little like 13, 14-year-old dressing as a cow, humbling. Dude, just being like,
but you're serious.
Yeah. But like,
that's even sadder than dumpster diving with my parents. Yeah. Mom and Pa always used to hold the rope so that I could pull myself out of the dumpster. At one point, I thought it was 27 days because my hand got hot and I was gonna cut it off. And they were gonna be like, "Just let go of the sourdough bread loaf."
What's funny?
That's a James Franco reference.
They weren't even cow costumes. My mom just put black spots on old white T-shirts. And was like, "They're cows." You tell me they're not. Those are cows right there.
Oh, it's that boy with vitiligo again. Why don't you get him a nice cone? No, so you would dress up the whole family.
Huh? Dad,
Mom, Pa, sis, brother, you all dress up as cows.
Well, my dad was working. The kids were homeschooled, so it was me and my sister.
Right. How could I somehow forget. Wait, well, all
you
three
forget I was homeschooled?
No,
I feel like I give off those vibes.
It's what it is sometimes you blink out of rhythm, and that's how I know. It's a nurture thing. That's not you don't come off the factory line like that as a human being. That's years of neglect / over nurture, because that's what homeschooling is. It's educational neglect and then over nurturing of other things.
It's funny. My mom worked while I was being homeschooled, so she would just leave me with the books at home while she would go work a shift at Starbucks, and my dad was working too. And the thing about being homeschooled, the one thing you and the teacher have in common, you both have the fucking answers in the back of the book. So she'd come home and I'd be like, yeah, school took me 30 minutes. I got all A's on everything. She'd be like, you're my little genius baby. you are little baby Einstein. One time my dad called it out and was like, yo, have him take a test in front of me. And so I did. I had to do like long division or some shit, something stupid and basic in front of my dad. And I couldn't do it. And I swear to God, this is true. My mom was like, Joe, I think he's so smart that he's having trouble understanding how he got to the processes that take him so quick. And I was like, honestly, tests just make me nervous. My mom was like, it's test pressure. And they bought it. And I just got to go back to cheating. And it was crazy. And then when I actually went to like private school and they had to test me into math, I didn't even test into pre-algebra. And they were like, your parents said you doing algebra at home. I'm like, yeah, no, I get the right answers in algebra at home for sure. I got every answer in algebra at home.
They're like, even for Lazarus Bible Academy, your math scores are low.
They were like, make this the lowest common denominator. And I was like, what do you mean by that?
Carry the commandment.
Dude, on the only standardized test I did in like the 2 years of high school, one of the sections on our SAT was Bible. And one of the questions, I swear to God, one of the questions was, what did Jesus mean when he told Peter, on this rock I build my church? And the two answers were pretty much, are you Protestant or are you Catholic? And so it was like, I asked my teacher, I was like, hey, is this a Protestant or Catholic thing? He's like, Protestant, put the Protestant answer. I was like, okay, sick. It was but I did pretty good on the Bible section. I did pretty fucking good on the Bible section. The rest of the standardized testing, not so great. It wasn't an accredited school or anything.
No. In the end, you still got an acceptance letter to Liberty University?
Yeah.
That's right.
I just went and got the high school proficiency exam. It's like a GED equivalent. Because I realized I wasn't going to an accredited high school.
Which is that I
wouldn't
not
be able to
rough?
do anything.
No, okay, so the GED is an equivalent to a diploma. They're like, the GED is the Frost Flake to Frosted Flakes. You got the equivalent to the equivalent. So instead of even getting Frost Flake to the Frosted Flakes, you got bran.
When I applied for a community college here during COVID, they were like, you're going to need to take intermedial classes. Like, just to start college. Like, you're going to need to take, like, basic math. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be doing that. I was like, I can't go back to school. They won't let me. I told my wife, I was like, it's because my criminal record. I was like, it's not because I'm stupid. It's not because I don't know math.
Your wife is telling your mother-in-law, look, no, they will let him go back to the community college because of his criminal record.
Not because he's stupid.
And usually... I mean, the teacher's a felon.
I got a shoplifting charge 10 years ago.
That's it right there. Okay, so I'm going to pull this up here just so I can read it.
John Benet Ramsey. Looks like a photo I think of for John Benet Ramsey.
Okay. Oh, God damn it.
Yeah, real bad out of hell energy from her, right?
She does look like a little gargoyle witch.
Did she die?
Yeah.
It's the first I'm hearing about this.
Oh, really?
She was a...
You're kidding, right?
No, do you guys remember that video? You guys remember that video where he goes, she's dead? No, this is the first I'm hearing about this. Wow. What can I say? She was a, definitely a respected woman. She's a respected woman. Do you guys remember that video of Trump?
No.
Can we pull up the video of Trump before we even talk about RBG? It's RBG, seriously, Trump RBG death reaction. It's incredible.
So he had no idea who she was?
No, he did. He was playing dumb, I guess, because he was being disrespectful to her. So this is, while we pull this up, after she died, I think like 5 years ago, whenever Amy Coney Barrett got the job, her family, the Ginsburg family, created an award in honor of her. It's called the RBG Leadership Award. And it originally was meant just for like women who showed excellence in leadership. But then the person who they put in charge of it, the actual woman who runs the foundation chair, Julie Opperman, decided to like to be more gender inclusive. Now, non-binary and men of any cis or transgender nature can also receive the Ginsburg Award for Leadership and Excellence.
So it's just for people now.
It's not just for women. And this year, they decided to give the award to 5 recipients, 4 of them being men.
It's about time.
So Julie Opperman, who's in charge of the award for women who showed excellence in leadership, decided this year 4 men showed leadership. And what's amazing about it is it's named after a Supreme Court judge. That's who and 2 of the people who receive awards this year are convicted felons.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes. So the 2 felons of the 5. So let's just go through the 5 who received it. Who are going to receive it this year is Elon Musk, Sylvester Stallone, Martha Stewart, Rupert Murdoch, Michael Milken.
I would say that's my political Rushmore. That is my cabinet under a Kanye presidency.
Honestly, yeah, it's not a bad one. So 2 of the felons, Martha Stewart, who went to jail. You know, granted, she went to prison. She went to
straight up prison.
She went to actual prison, which was bullshit. Mm-hmm. You know, she did the same thing everyone else does. She did the same thing as Pelosi and all the other politicians, insider trading.
Yeah.
But then the other one is Michael Milken, who definitely is a felon, like an actual hardcore, like, you know, junk stock, like true corrupt guy on Wall Street, piece of fucking shit. And then on top of that, it's like the rest are just men. One of them being Rupert Murdoch, who is the founder of Fox News.
And Sylvester Stallone.
Well, Sylvester's the only one who's like, I think like apolitical. I mean, he made Rambo, which is like a
rotation
movie.
Definitely hates the same type of people altogether.
Poor people. They hate poor people. Yeah. This is
who doesn't though?
Poor people hate poor people.
Poor people if you hate poor people, you sound poor. It's a poor person activity.
Poor people hate poor people the way women hate women.
I've always said we need to stop girl hate because girls shouldn't hate me.
Because the second that you give, and if you think I'm wrong when I say women hate women, a woman, Julie Opperman, chose 4 men, including Rupert Murdoch and Michael Milken, over women for the Ruth Bader Ginsburg Leadership and Excellence in Women Award.
And the woman is Martha Stewart, too. The woman that won that award isn't someone who's like, yeah, you've really done a lot for women in bad positions. You know what I mean? Like, you're just a crafty billionaire. You know what I mean? You're just a billionaire or a bajillionaire that does crafts.
They didn't choose a woman who, like, I don't know, cured, like, polio or some kind of disease, or not even a woman who, like, just wrote poetry. They chose a woman who just has a line of towels at Target. It's like,
who do you want her to choose? Like that chick that lied about all those testing. Who's that tech chick?
Oh, Elizabeth Holmes.
Yeah, Elizabeth Holmes.
Elizabeth Holmes is one.
Yes.
She's absolutely
Theranos' own.
Rachel Dolezal is another one.
Yes.
I think she should be up there for sure.
Who's not Skrelly? Fucking the crypto guy that just went to jail.
Sam Bankman-Fried.
What's his girl's name?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
I'm pretty sure she's non-binary.
Okay.
Or at least she's poly.
No, they were in a polycule.
They were in a polycule.
There was 8 of them. They were all fucking each other, which is, you have to respect. It's not just lascivious orgies. Mm-mm. It's when it involves
There's love involved.
When it involves people who are in tech, it's polycule.
Yeah. It's not a throuple. It's a polycule.
No. Yes, sir. That's correct.
Also, it should be illegal to know the word throuple.
Yeah?
Yeah. If you hear someone use the word throuple too casually, dude, we need to put them on a certain type of list.
Yeah.
So now this award is just for anybody, which, hey, fair enough. It's just an award now.
Sure.
RBG, famously anti-labor. Famously. People don't really know that.
Hell yeah. Show them the Mao tattoo.
I got my Mike Tyson Mao tattoo up there. I love Mike Tyson's Mao tattoo. He says, "I'm gonna fight with the strength of Mao."
No, what?
Yeah. When Mike Tyson went to prison, he got involved in the Maoist prison ministries. So he has a Che Guevara tattoo and a Mao Zedong tattoo.
Damn.
And he loves Mao and he loves Che Guevara. And just recently, because he's going back to fight Jake Paul or whatever, he put out this video. He goes, "I'm going to get out there. I'm going to fight with the strength of Mao Zedong." And then shows his big old Mao tattoo. Oh, wow, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. He goes, "I read On Contradictions when I was in prison, and it really just changed my view on the way that a man can be a man." He talks a lot about the way that Mao talks about men can be men. I'm like, dude, I've read pretty much everything Mao ever wrote. He doesn't really talk about that at all.
Well, okay. That's all right.
Are you pulling up his Mao tattoo? It's pretty sick.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it says Mao underneath it in case you just think it's a Chinese dude. Wrong. That's Mao.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. He has Che on his stomach, too.
I forget. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's so iconic is the face tattoo. The Mike Tyson face tattoo.
That's so tight.
It's so tight. It really is. It's like because it's like a Maori, it's like an oceanic islander face like pattern.
Wait, he has a tattoo of a New Zealand prime minister, Jacinda Ardern. Is that true?
Yeah. It looks like it.
What?
He's a very fringe political guy.
Yeah, he is, man. We got to get him on the pod.
We gotta get
Mike Tyson talking about, what if he's like some third solutionist now?
What is the third solutionist?
It's like Nazi shit.
Ooh. Well,
he couldn't say Nazi, so I don't think Nazi.
I just think there needs to be a strong man. There needs to be a strong man that puts it down on the government to make sure that it's really in the interest of moving the country forward.
Look, say what you will about the state of Iraq before we got there, but Saddam Hussein got things and stayed with
Dude, I worked with a Ba'athist. Did I tell you about this?
No.
Dude, he's also a men's rights activist.
Okay.
I follow him on Instagram.
Yeah, those go hand in hand.
He put up the crazy... He added me to his close friend story. I think he's a nice guy. I didn't know he was a Ba'athist. I didn't know he fucking loves Saddam Hussein.
Yeah.
He posted so much pro-Saddam stuff where I was like, dude, don't tell anyone but me you like this stuff. I was like, yo, don't. I was like, I know where you're from, being a Baptist is like normal and like liking Saddam isn't crazy.
Right.
Here, that shit doesn't fly, dude.
No.
I was like, don't tell anyone. He was like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, look, hey, we're good.
I was like, I don't care if you like Saddam. Mike Tyson's got a Mao tattoo, man. I went and saw his one-man show in Vegas.
His what?
Oh, Mike Tyson has a one-man show in Vegas. It's fantastic.
And so he's just like got a little headset on and he's talking to the audience?
It's a God mic. You can't really see it. So like I think it's a stage mic, like 58's hanging up above or
is
whatever,
he on
57s
stage
or whatever.
Just moving around while someone's in the God mic, or is he talking and there's actors? How does this
He's
work?
talking. It's an hour-long performance where he just tells his life story with a little bit of comedy. He kind of, has a little bit of music play and he dances a little bit.
He staples his nuts like Steve-O, or what
He
does he do?
addresses all of his allegations that he got too.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently every woman's a liar in his life. Turns out that every woman that Mike Tyson has ever been with is an absolute liar. Isn't that crazy? What are the odds?
I was reading books about how men should be men, and I came to the conclusion that all women are liars. And frankly, when you look at the track record of Mao
yeah.
and the track record of our own presidents, not so different.
Yeah, that's a pretty good point, Fake Mike Tyson.
Damn.
Fake Mike Tyson makes some really interesting point about the progression of women in different societies.
Thank you, J.D. Kelly.
Yeah. Oh, man. So how do you get the RBG award, the Revolutionary But Gangster Award?
How can you be a notorious RBG?
RBG on that shit. Bang on out. Because it sounds like anyone that's just like rich and in that world already.
The answer is, how do you get an RBG award? You probably just give enough money to the RBG award recipient giver. Julia, so if it's decided by it's decided by the Dwight D. Opperman Foundation and Julie Opperman, who runs it. Sounds like you just buy the Opperman family enough things.
Yeah.
And then they go, yeah, all right.
Oh, sounds like you should get an award.
Sounds like you. Man, Notorious RBG, like that was a fun moment in white women tone deaf.
I bet so many women that got that tattoo are looking back on that now. Same with the safety pin tattoo.
What's the safety pin tattoo?
Remember, it was another Trump presidency. It was just a way to signal, like, hey, I'm anti-Trump or I'm pro, like the types of people that Trump's against, right? Like it was like, I'm pro I don't even know. I don't know if it was a pro-trans thing or a pro.
Thing.
Yeah, it was like a pussy hat thing, but for everybody. And I remember I worked at a vegetarian restaurant at the time, and we had so many people come in with safety pins on. It was like a Facebook meme. Do you guys remember when the Ukraine war first started and they were trying to make that sunflower a meme?
No.
There was this piece of propaganda that was just so clear right as Russia invaded, where it's like, I just saw this woman walk up to a Russian soldier and hand him a bunch of sunflower seeds and said, put these in your pocket so when you die, flowers will grow for the Ukraine. And then like CNN picked it up and was like, the sunflowers, a symbol for the movement in the Ukraine to resist.
Really? Because you know what I heard? What I heard was that NATO was aggressively pissing off and encroaching upon a sovereign nation and saying, do it, Russia, attack us. That's what I heard.
It's, if you try to explain to people not only the history of NATO, but like even the history of like, you know, a pre-Crimea attempt at like putting NATO that close to Russia's border, they go, oh, so you like Putin? I just. Oh, you want to suck Putin's dick?
Yeah.
You're an idiot, dude. Yeah. That's what they say. They go, you're stupid.
You should be sucking the Hague's dick. You should be letting all of Western Europe run a train on that asshole. Okay, princess?
Yeah.
Okay.
I liked when we beat the Nazis and we just renamed them NATO.
We kept the first two letters.
Yeah. We said, hey, all your guys' leadership, if you're not going to be shipped off to Africa or Venezuela, we have a project for you. We have a project for you right here in Europe, buddy. Yes, sir. We got the projects of projects for you, buddy.
Yes, sir. Read your book.
I want to get the RBG award. How much money do I have to give the Opperman family? Let's start a PAC.
Okay. Yeah.
Because then anyone can... I don't really know how PACs work.
I don't either. But all I know is that you're a great leader in women leadership and excellence.
Can I tell you what I think PACs are?
Go ahead.
I think PACs are big bank accounts, and you don't see who gives money to that bank account, and they don't directly talk to anyone that gets money from that bank account, but the PAC gets to just give money to people unsolicited. Is that how it works?
Kind of, yeah. It's a political action committee. And basically, like with campaign finance in this country, like you have to, an individual, like if you ran for office.
I run for office.
I believe like the legal limit that one individual can give to another individual is $2,000. I thought it was 6,000.
I thought it was only 2.
Oh, okay. I thought it was 6,500. But I thought it was a round number, like 6K or 6,500. But I basically, like, once you cap out and I want to give you more money, I have to then launder it. Okay, here we go, 3,300. Okay. And then when you align yourself with a political party, I can give money to the party instead of you. And the limit for giving to a party per person is like, I think it's like $100,000.
Oh, wow.
But once you cap that out, you then give money to political action committees that can give money to the individual, and the political action committee can also give to a party. So basically, like once you max out the amount of money you can help someone get in office, which you are buying influence if they win. What you're saying is like once you max out of that money of the influence you can give and buy, then you give to this shell core that will launder your money. It's essentially like it's a legal money laundering operation to give money.
That was pretty close.
Yeah, you want to buy influence? Launder your money.
I wasn't dead on, but it's what I thought it was.
No, it's basically exactly what you said.
I remember, I think I saw a Stephen Colbert video on it like forever ago when he started a Super PAC.
Yes, his was fun.
That's the only education I ever got on how PACs work. I haven't even Googled it.
It was like the Doritos Locos Super PAC or something like that. Like he branded it with the fast food company.
That's good.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
But PACs can't actually, like if I have a PAC, I can't actually tell, hey, Mitt Romney, you're going to have to fucking kick out Filipinos.
No, you can't do that.
I can't do that. But because he's going to go to dinner with my son-in-law can be like, you know, everyone at the Bad News podcast wants Filipinos kicked out of America. They're going to clip that. That's going to look bad.
What you can do.
Don't clip that. Don't clip just that. That sounds bad.
Clip it. Well, okay. All right. It is a fun fate for RBG to have the awards given to Republican men.
Yeah.
I mean, that's poetic justice.
I mean, RBG was essentially a Republican.
As an apolitical person, I see what these like powerful people, the games they play with each other, and I go, haha, yeah, look at that.
I think I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure RBG talks about like how like, oh, you know, once the robe's off, dude. I'm hanging out with
tits out,
dude. Dude, have you seen photos of young Nancy Pelosi?
Brother, I've seen photos of old Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, dude, her tits have aged fantastically.
Wouldn't throw her out of bed.
Young Nancy Pelosi makes me go, oh yeah, I am buyable. I don't think I have a price, and then I see young Nancy Pelosi, I go, yep, that's the price, baby. That is the price, dude. Let's do some insider training, dude. I'll do so much insider trading, I won't even pull out. That's how much insider trading I'll be doing. What's the first one with her, JFK? Yeah, dude.
Come on.
That's hilarious. Also, if you were in politics when JFK was alive, you shouldn't be anymore.
That's a great point.
Yeah. If there's a photo of you with JFK, you shouldn't be allowed to vote. You're too old. Go to sleep. Tits, Nancy Pelosi. Yo, yeah. Cleavage out of the Pelosi. And people say, oh, you don't respect her for all the work she's done? No, I don't give a shit about what she's done. I like them tatas. Speaker of the Blouse. My mom, when we were driving in San Francisco, there's a Nancy Pelosi street. My mom goes, I ought to open up my door and just spit on the road. I said, Mama.
Mama?
Yeah, she goes, I just can't stand her. Well, she's a wicked woman. I said, I think she's a wicked woman too, Mom. She's a wicked woman indeed.
You were homeschooled and you were going to get some free Chick-fil-A.
I do like...
You had your cowbell necklace on.
I do like that even though I left fundamental Christianity, I still believe that all the same people are wicked that I did growing up. It's also funny that now all these documentaries are coming out about like the Disney Channel actually being run by demonic pedophiles, and me being like, you know what, Dad? I'm sorry. You were right. It's good I wasn't allowed to watch that. Turns out they were all pedophiles. You were right calling them perverts, Dad. Crazy that you called that shot.
I do remember one of the reasons why I didn't get cable until I was 15. I remember asking. I don't care. No, I just remember like asking my mom and dad, being like, hey, why can't we have cable? And they were like, oh, Disney Channel and Nickelodeon, all that stuff is like, it's too sexualized. They sexualize children. And I remember telling my friends that like in like the 5th grade, and everyone was like, we just learned what sex ed was. And they're like, that's disgusting. They don't do that. And then this week, like the Drake Bell, all the dark side of like Quiet on Set, the Dan Schneider stuff. It's like, oh, turns out they literally were on the Nickelodeon sets.
Did I tell you about making my wife watch the Open Secret documentary? When I first met my wife, you know the Open Secret documentary? It's a documentary that came out in the early 2000s that was kind of like blacklisted a lot of places because it names all like the union reps that enabled people to like, you know.
Brian Peck, Brian Singer.
And not only that, but like the guys that like started like, you know, the first online streaming service that all were working with the Children's SAG union. Like there's so many people that were involved in the union that still work in that union that are pedophiles. And so I'm, you know, obviously a sicko conspiracy theorist. I had seen that years ago. When I first started dating my wife, I want to know how down she is for like crazy shit. And I'm like, hey, my friend gave me a DVD that's apparently this really hard documentary to find. Do you want to watch it? And about halfway through, she's looking at me and she's like, you've seen this before, haven't you? And I was like, yeah, I have. And she's like, you've talked to me about almost everything that's come up so far. And I was like, I know. And she's like, yeah, I get it.
You thought you were so slick with it.
I did. I was like, you know, I'll just test the waters. And she was like, yeah, no, I've heard you say this word for word to me.
You're like, so yeah, like, pretty random, like some cool, hard to find DVD. I hadn't seen it.
I've never seen it, yeah.
And let's just pop that in. And then she turns around and you're like, she's gonna pull popcorn on, and, you know, and she turns and the movie's talking and she just sees you going, word of mouthing along with it. And she just sees like an Elijah Wood being like, and I just knew things were off. And she just sees you go, you kept going, pause, look at that. Yeah. Look at his eyes. Those are red eyes. His eyes are red in this frame.
Very much was doing that. Pause. Did you notice that? Would she be on her phone for a second? Pause back. No, it's fine. I want you to absorb this. I want you to know how the world works, okay? I want you to know what we're fighting against in this world, all right?
So I met a guy. Mom, I met a guy.
QAnon ruined being anti-Hollywood pedophile. QAnon ruined it, man. Before QAnon...
Now you have to be an enabler, huh?
Yeah.
If you want to be on the right side of history. What are you, an insurrectionist?
No, dude, I try... No, I'm siphing them off, dude. I'm like a Finders, dude. I got boxes of kids for him, man. Man.
The Finders. Finally, we've mentioned the Finders.
Oh, shit. 10 episodes, we've never even mentioned the Finders.
Wow. Shout out Nick Bryant.
Nah. Have we mentioned Franklin scandal?
Not even yet. We'll get there, brother.
Wow, man. Wow. It's the core of the way you view the world when that's like the first thing that you get into as like a true crime type of guy, you know? You say true crime or journalism instead of conspiracy theories, by the way.
That's correct.
I say, I like good journalism.
Well, true crime means one of two things. It either means like a weak man or a strong woman who's into like voyeuristically consuming a family's worst nightmare, right? Like, because you look at what true crime is, and I dated a true crime journalist for like 3 years. She could attest to this. What true crime is you are commodifying and like voyeuristically like satiating yourself in other people's misery. It'll be like an interview of like, and it's always poor people. They're like, and then she went to the bar and never came back, and everyone's, and it's like, and then you'll hear dun 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 dun, and it'll zoom in and it'll be like a young 25-year-old woman being like, and Lorena knew she wouldn't see her daughter again. We'll be back with the Waco rapist, you know, a 6-part series on Wondery, you know. Yeah. it's like, and then it'll cut to, and it'll be like, is your asshole dirty? Try this bidet with our promo code Waco Rapist. And it's like someone's commodifying this Waco family's darkest memory in their entire life. And someone in Massachusetts is just driving to work being like, yeah, that sucks. But I do like to hear that it happened to someone. That's what true crime is for, like, that sect of like, it's always like strong women who want to like find out the past of a serial killer. And then it's always like a weak man who's like, I want to like, you know, really feel what it's like to be like scared. Because those are the people who like true crime, right? And then the other part of true crime is like brazen QAnon women or like average dude, which is like, I want to learn about dark occult people sacrificing children because that shit's scary. But I'm also like trying to not look at the fact that like I'm a line cook at 28. Like that's who, because you're like, that's, you know, am I wrong?
No, I think you're right.
That's the two sects of true crime. And then the other average people are like people who like just consume royal like documentary. What's going on with Kate Middleton? Or like a guy who's like, what's a good parlay on a football game? That's a healthy person in 2024 is gambling their child's college fund on a parlay.
I think those two people have the same sickness with two different symptoms. I also think that the reason that true crime's popular is because that's the fucking CIA trying to make you scared of your neighbor. I think that's State Department bullshit making true crime popular, because it's not true crime like, hey, let's investigate how this fucking, you know, corporation poisons the waters, or how, you know, this pharmaceutical company bought out lobbyists to like hide the actual spill that they put into like, you know, our farmland or whatever. Yeah. It's stuff like, hey, so this neighbor cut this guy up into 45 pieces. What's the podcast called? My Favorite Murder.
Dude, I was about
That's
to...
your favorite?
Yes,
you have a favorite murder?
Well, pause.
You have a favorite one?
Pause. You like murders enough to have a favorite one? Here's my favorite laceration murders, power ranked. It's like, what?
It's also, like you said, like, I don't know what you want to call it, like trauma porn or whatever.
It's entirely trauma porn.
They just list, I've listened to these podcasts, I think, like the Sword and Scale, where they'll just, in great detail, just be like, yeah, he took his knife and he started dissecting her corpse and cut from and it's like, you're just describing in great detail these horrible crimes that happen to someone that you're not fucking related to. They're a piece of paper to you, or a web page to you, you know?
Just listen to Barstool or some shit.
Yeah, listen to Bad News Podcast.
Listen to Bad News Podcast. Like, I just, yeah, the trauma porn, this voyeuristic thing where like, yeah, like it's people who like live safest lives too, who really want to hear that shit.
That don't know anyone that lives on their block. They know 2 people in their apartment complex and no one else. They're not talking to anyone on the elevator.
All.
I remember.
Don't even know the doorman's name.
Yeah. I remember a time where I used to be on an elevator with a woman and they would have to talk to me. They'd have to talk to me. And they couldn't pretend like they couldn't hear me. They couldn't act like they're in their own world with their little pods in.
You'd go,
they'd have to say, I'm here. I'm a man. I have needs. Talk to me.
And I could run the knife up and down my cheek, slowly cutting myself, saying, I am flesh like you. Isn't it wonderful today outside?
It's funny because, like,
I think our kids go to the same school.
I, like, have tattoos and I have a big beard and, like, I don't dress super nice. Like, I've always kind of, like, felt like I've been thrown together. I always just throw my outfit together, right? Like, I don't put a lot of thought into it.
Oh, shut up. You curated
like,
this.
This is curated.
I mean, look at this guy.
I try. But I was telling a friend of mine, I was like, yeah, I don't know why, like, you know, I've always been, have, like, scare the hoe energies. And she was like, because the way you dress and look. And I was like, oh.
It's just your core behavior and look.
Yeah, like the homeschool thing and the way that you look and act. Like, just don't do all that. Just be handsome and charming, and you wouldn't have scaring hoes energy at all.
Just be a different person.
Yeah. Baby, if I could, I would. If I could, I would.
Oh, dude, I got a call from my mom today.
Uh-oh.
So I went to Dallas yesterday just for the day. I like sold my car, or my dad was like, hey, I was like, I need to sell my car before I like make this move. And so my dad was like, yeah, I have a friend who actually is looking to buy it. Just drop it off in Dallas. I'll sell it to you. Throw me a couple $100 for the brokerage, you know, for the VIG, for the cut. I'm like, yeah, sure. And so then he's like, also I have this Honda CRV. You can throw a couple $100 to borrow for the next 2 months. And you can just like use that money from your sale to like help you with the move. And I was like, great. So I drive to Dallas and I hang out with him. And then he goes, dude, you smell terrible. And I was like, yeah. Like I didn't shower this morning. And like, I just rolled right out of bed and drove to Dallas. And he's like, you smell ripe. And I was like, okay. Then I got a call today from my mom, and I haven't talked to her in a couple weeks. And she's like, I was like, what's up? And she goes, I spoke to your father. And I was like, in this grave tone, she goes, Sam, are you busy? And I go, well, I'm in a writing session. What's going on? She goes, I spoke to your father. You smell ripe. And I go, what? And then I said to her, I'm not having this conversation. I got so pissed off. I was like, I just left the room writing with some comedians about something. You called me. I told him I didn't shower. I just drove straight to Dallas and back. She goes, I want you to go through life making a good impression on people. And I go, we've already known that I'm not doing that.
I'm doing comedy.
We know I'm not doing that. And then I was like, you called me, stopped me from working, took me out of work to tell me I smell like shit secondhand. Do you?
She trusted the rumor mill there.
I mean,
she said, I gotta get on the phone about this.
I mean, do you want me to do a true crime? The smelly knife man. I heard footsteps. And then I smelled him. What? You're trying to make a murderer here.
Man, hey, that's a great way to dunk on your day, though, right? Just fucking stop what you're doing. Just remind you that you're stinky and everyone knows it. Hey, by the way, we're all talking about how bad you smell like ass out here. Everyone out in Dallas says you smell like ass.
She's in Pennsylvania seeing family, and my dad took time out of his day to call her and be like, hey, wife, do you know our scent smells like ass?
I like to imagine that like her family's in Pennsylvania and they all kind of zoom in with the family in Dallas and they're like, what's new? And your dad's like, pretty much just how stinky, and everyone goes, how stinky Sammy? It's like, yeah, you guys have heard.
If you think Sam is smelly, say hell yeah. Hell
yeah. Let me know if this is racist. When my wife
find out my boy smells like shit.
When my wife and I were going on a vacation, I said, let's get matching shirts. And she said, matching shirts? I said, yeah, like an old black couple on vacation.
Oh my God, JT.
And she said, that's exactly. And I said, what do you mean? And she was like, and I was like, no, like, you know how
Kelly family reunion.
I said, you black families do t-shirts for family reunions. And she said, yes. And I said, older black couples do matching t-shirts on vacations. And she said, I've never seen that before.
Yes, she has. She just hasn't noticed.
That's exactly a word for when I said, but you know that they do it for family reunions and for old people's birthday parties? And she said, yes, because you've sent me photos of shirts at thrift stores. And I said, okay, I'm going to find.
Jesus Christ, JT.
I think they're cool shirts. I also love funeral shirts. I love funeral shirts.
Oh, okay, hold on. You know what it is? It's true crime trauma porn girlfriend, and it's hipster race scientist boyfriend.
was gonna say trauma memorabilia, but okay. I like the regalia of a sad life on my walls. I don't know.
Wow, what a time capsule of a young married white couple living on the east side, huh? And yeah, it's not that's that theme song where it's like, and we're moving on up. It's we're moving them on out from the east side. And I've got this married couple shirt.
I took their home. I wear their shirts, and now they're old laundromats at coffee shop where I work at too. Got the whole situation turned my way now.
Dude, my family does those shirts for
Your
sure.
family does the shirts?
Yeah.
Yeah,
My family did
Jimmy's black. We don't have a camera on him, but Jimmy is black.
each grandkid gets a number of like whatever number they are, and the shirt is just their number, and then the color is associated with which like parent. You know what I mean?
That's so cute.
Yeah, are you Linda's?
Big
You're Linda's
Catholic.
number one, so that means you're Linda's first, which is why you have a blue one.
No, it's like I'm the fourth grandchild, but I'm Linda's son, so blue 4.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I like that. Man, I want, if you're watching this podcast, please
And they
nominate us for an RBG Legacy Award.
Yes.
There's nothing we deserve more than the Opperman family to say, hey, we also think you're like Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And I'd say, yeah, I think we are too.
I'll bend
That's
the
the
knee.
goal.
I'll bend the knee.
Man, I'll Kaepernick.
Yeah. Well, they're just gonna make that a verb now for bending the knee
Dude,
towards
when
power.
we go get our RBG award, we both Kaepernick. We both Kaepernick for our RBG award. And we go, just like she would have wanted. Wait, did she also not like that too?
I imagine she did.
That's awesome.
I imagine she was like, "What? They're not in Harlem anymore. What's the big deal?"
Not at Harlem anymore. Shouldn't we have them watched?
Well, who's making jazz then? I don't know why I made her this voice. I don't know why.
Jazz.
I don't know why. Ginsburg. I don't know, huh?
Oh. Is Ginsburg?
For sure.
Really? I thought she was Goy. I'll be honest.
Really?
Till this very moment.
Dude.
To this very moment, I thought she was Goy. I'm not even playing with you.
Yeah.
I don't have great last name guess though. Ginsburg. I guess Berg. Yeah. Are you Googling her race?
No, he's Googling religion.
She was born to a Jewish family.
Yes.
Is her husband Jewish too? God, could you imagine that bat mitzvah?
I would love if he wasn't. I would love if she married a goy. That'd be nice. And then whenever he would have to turn the light on Shabbos, she would say, "And that's why I keep you around." You know, playful. As a Gentile who dated a Jew, they would make those jokes all the time. They'd say, "Hey Sam, be a mensch. Turn off the TV. We're not allowed to." I'm like, oh, Mrs. Smearenberg.
She did learn Hebrew though.
Well, we can move on. We're not going to just go through Ruth Bader's life.
Yeah, hey, we're not going to
did you
do a
know-
list of everyone we think might be Jewish, to be clear. This is not where this is
Oh,
headed.
did you know that she got pre-approved for a Volvo? What are we doing? The fuck are we doing?
More photos of her with crowns. The Queen of America.
That was my favorite, was like in the mid-10s, there was a breed of white woman who like was like, notorious RBG on one meme. And then the next one would be like, I remember this is one of my favorite, was like a woke white female friend of mine who I just had to like take her aside and be like, yo, this is a bad look. And it was like, she shared like on a story, it was just it just said nah in quotations. And then it said dash Rosa Parks. And I'm like, nah. You think that she just said the word nah? No, like don't do that. That's your white ex-boyfriend Trevor says nah. Okay, let's not conflate a civil rights leader Rosa Parks with Trevor.
Also, the way that story's taught to people is like it was just an old woman that refused for a bus. It's like no, she was like the 5th person to do that protest. She was in the Communist Party. Like it was a movement they were a part of. Like it was a political movement that she was in, and it's framed as like, you know what? This little old lady, she finally just said no.
That's right. Take it away from her.
Take it away from her. Wait, no, that's giving it back to her. It's like a political movement. It's not just some tired lady. It's someone with like an actual backbone.
I see what you're saying. Good.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Because this is a pro Rosa Parks podcast.
Oh yeah, Rosa Parks a G. She had political ideologies that she believed in. She wanted to stand up for them and risk them during the time of civil rights. That's incredible. But it's framed as if she's just some clueless old woman. No, I'm just tired of moving. No, she was a politically conscious activist. Like she was a, Actually, I'm going back the other way. I went to a private school that wouldn't let us celebrate Martin Luther King Day because they said he was a communist.
Oh my god,
it's pretty funny.
I like that. That was the angle they chose. Yeah, it's political and class ideology. That's why we're not doing it. It's because it's because he was a red pinko commie. That's why. All right, I think we've moved on from this topic. Why don't we talk about?
We're over an hour, by the way.
7:40.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I think it's time to put a bow on it.
Damn, we got to put a bow on this.
We got to put a bow on this.
Hey, you guys, that was this episode. We had so much more to talk about, which means we got more to talk about in the next one.
Can't wait to catch you guys up.
You know, I'm Sam.
JT.
Jimmy.
We'll see you soon. See you next week on the internet. Bye.
Week.